Have you ever wondered what is really like to be a software engineer? So I'm gonna tell you more about it on this video. Coffee. Yeah. So there's a video of me about that is on my YouTube channel about my journey as a software engineer. How did I become a software engineer? I don't know, but it may appear on both sides, this side or this side or down there. I don't know. So I wanna see. It's gonna tell you more about what from the start of my varsity or high school. Yeah, high school. Starting from high school up until now, what I'm doing and all that. So yeah. So for today, I'm gonna take you through about my career, like focusing in more of what I'm doing, um, the purpose of this video, early days of the journey, what did I learn? Because my learning started way back in university. See, like from level one. So I'm gonna tell you more about my interests in software engineering, my days at varsity, my biggest challenges that I faced throughout this learning journey, the resources that have helped me, how did I land my first job, um, how to prepare for interviews, building portfolios, interview processes, initial expectations on your first day of work, my initial expectations versus the reality that surprises in software engineering, the learning curve at work, skills that I've learned at work because I have skills that I've learned at school and on my own, and then the skills that I've learned at work, projects I've worked on, the growth and development. How did I grow from there? How did I adapt from work, from school, transitioning from school to self-taught to, in fact, school and self-taught to working professional thing, and then growing my skills and areas to focus on, mentorship, how everyone mentored me, my first job and second one, third one, all that. Current roles and responsibilities, what am I doing now? The company I'm working in, how is it, and all that. A typical day to day in my life, advice to people who want to do software engineering, which is aspiring software engineers. So what can I help them? How can I advise them to go through what I went through? And also the importance of learning, building your portfolio, skills and teamwork, how teamwork at work, and your skills, how you can share. I have a degree in computer science, which is BSc in computer science, and honors in computer sciences. Since I was doing, I applied for the other course and then I got into other course. So I was doing statistics that time, 2015, and it was statistics with computer sciences, and then I changed. I changed from computer sciences. I changed from statistics to computer science because I see that I love this thing. I love computer science, and I don't like this statistics. And as a result, my first year in
I failed that statistics thing.
so I did mention that to that video, and yeah, this bin is so hot, yo. So yeah, I did fail that thing and I didn't like it. So yeah, then there's a friend of mine who was doing computer sciences that time. I was electing with it, a computer science, and then she convinced me to do computer science full time because even at study center I would do computer science, like I would do computer science stuff like code. I started learning HTML, CSS, and then that's when I got interested in, because that year level 1 I was doing C++, which is OOP, but we started with problem solving, which is like those small tasks, hello world and all that. Even hello world was so difficult, very difficult for me. Like I didn't even know where to start. So yeah, and then I've gradually learned from that, doing um, group works and all that. Then I've like grabbed the concept, not really, but just a bit. And then you know what, I actually love this thing. So then that's when on level 2 I decided to change. But that time, level 1, that's when I was doing my websites. My first website, it was bad, not that ugly though, but I may show it on this video. And it was just a plain HTML and CSS and JavaScript with PHP, because it had a form to submit contact details. So yeah, that's why I had PHP and my SQL, so that those contacts can be stored there. That deck is what started everything, like, because I loved the like coding and like having this screen. You see this screen, having this screen, and then this one. I code on this one, test on this one, see how is it changing. If I change the color, okay, I see how this color is changing, like all that. If I change the width is gonna be like this and all that. I love that. And then that's when I've changed to computer science. But I didn't know when this was far up, but then life continued. Yeah, as it should. So I then did level 2 statistics. I haven't changed. And now on level 2, I'm still doing statistics level 1, but computer science level 2, and I had mathematics, which is calculus. I passed that thing. And also OOP problem solving, I passed it. And then level 2, I was doing in computer science, I was doing data communication, operating systems. Yeah, I was doing that, which also fueled my interests, because I had a teacher, I had a lecturer, Boston. I think it's New Boston, and also Carly. I think it's Carly, that guy, Kelly or Carly, or I don't know, but he's just a white guy, looks like Mark Zuckerberg and all that. Yeah, so that guy, I think it's iCarly or Carly. So he was teaching computer sciences. I used to grab a lot of videos here and there. Also, my best friend, I mentioned that, he said, "Hey, bruh, change this thing because it's really difficult." And then I did change. So he was also assisting me. I was also asking him, because I remember the challenge I faced. I was thinking, okay, now I have this website. How am I going to put it there so that everyone can see it? Oh, before that, it was running it, actually seeing the front end, because I downloaded uh, Notepad++. That was my first coding web development IDE. It was Notepad. Yeah, very, 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 very basic. So you have to know every line. As new sites, as new ideas, through my learning curve, you had to. They are so nice in such a way that you just type H, and then HTML is being suggested, and you click enter, and then everything is gonna pop up. So now Notepad was not like that. Notepad was actually, you have to write this thing from HTML. You have to show that you know it. You leave one corner bracket, you're out. And also my first video was tough. That I uploaded on YouTube. There were a lot of bloopers, but yeah, good. We are good. So yeah, emphasizing on the learning curve. You really have to learn. Take it step by step a day. You're gonna grab the concept. So that was my experience. I struggled to upload my first website, but that guy showed me. That's when I downloaded FileZilla, this thing of learning FTP servers, HTTPs. Yo, like that part of networks in Anitand. So I did learn it because I wanted to upload this thing so bad. So I did learn it, and in computer science, you just have to have this knowledge, and then everything else is gonna flow. So yeah, I did learn it, finished with it. We're all good. So that's the path I took also in university. And then my biggest challenge that I faced and was also studies Ngapha. Those were my challenges. But you find a way to do everything that you want to do. And then the resources that have helped me, I also mentioned them, that it was Bob, uh, the Boston, I don't know if it's the Boston what, and then it was MIT. I did learn through MIT. Patrick JMT, I can't forget that guy in mathematics. Simple things he was doing, limits, everything, very simple. You see it. And then it was lady called Nancy. He was also uh, well versed in this mathematics. Very nice. And then the Khan Academy, also good. So yeah, that was my the early days of software engineering, my varsity days, the resources that I've used that have helped me. Okay, about landing my first job. I'm trying this thing of computer science and I have interest in it. I'm willing to learn. That's what helps. Be willing to learn. That's when you start meeting people, they ask you questions because you're interested. It's not that you know, but you're interested. You start Googling more. You start having questions. What is bubble sort? How does it work? And then you start being curious about the field. You start searching for jobs, even if you're at school. That's how I did it, and it worked. So she mentioned me when she was telling me that she mentioned me. She's the one who mentioned me to that guy that um, uh, there is someone who can be interested in the internship. And I'm like, okay, uh, let's connect on LinkedIn. And then that guy connected me on LinkedIn. One goes again, but am I looking for a job? I said, yes, I am. Then he started giving me material, an internship. You're not really supposed to do an interview, but you have to have a basic knowledge of what is happening. And then he started giving me the material of what I have to learn, this and this and this. Or no, he started giving me material of questions that how much do I know this? Let me rate myself. Like I think it was 30 questions. And then I answered based on what I learned. He started giving me material after I told him that yeah, I'm looking for a job. As for having experience, and then he gave me those things, and he started teaching me on what I know and what I don't know, and then yeah, and then when I get to work, that was it. The interview process, preparing for interviews, I was preparing OOP. That's what they ask. You have to prepare for OOP. You have to know the sorting algorithms, the data structures, but not that bad because it's just internship. Okay. So also the websites I was building back in the days when I was at school, they helped me because you have to upload them on on GitHub, and then everyone can see them on GitHub. Even employees can see, employers can see your work, and then yeah, that was it. And then I built my portfolio according to that. When I'm looking for a job, I just paste it there. I just prefer them there. So yeah, that was my portfolio. They saw that, like, yeah, you can do at least a little bit, and then we can take you in. And they did take me. I had to move to Cape Town. My nice experience. First time moving to Cape Town. I don't know anyone there. Oh, I knew Zoom, my other friend, was working, who studied at school, so too. So he was working at this company. Yeah. So ndafikela kuye-ke sahlala about 5 days. I moved to my own place. It was closer to work in town during COVID. It was tough, but I managed to grab a few things, because that guy, he was a manager but also my mentor, because we would sit down and he would take me through how is integration, what do we do in integration, integrating a software, a Java one, and also integration testing. After you have done integrating, then you have to do integration testing, which is really nice. I loved that. And yeah, so now it started, the real work. Like, my initial expectations was to just code throughout the day, just every day code, build some things, get work, do this, do that. But the reality was, it was kind of an environment where
it was a call center, it was a call center infused with tech. So they wanted an application that they wanted to use, on hand. When you need someone, you just take the details and all that, they send it to the database. So I was the one who built that. I came with the requirements, and also
they gave me the few requirements, and then I did all the work, chose my own technology and all that, because I knew PHP back then. Then I just did the app with PHP, my SQL, jQuery, CSS, and Bootstrap, HTML. Yeah, that was my stack that I knew back then. And then I finished that app, and then when I finished it, I left there after 6 months. I stayed up for about 3 months not working, and I had a bursary that had a clause that you're gonna work for us a year by June 2021. Yeah, started working there, but there they chose a path for me I didn't like, which was technical support. Yeah, just fixing laptops, fixing printers, troubleshooting Wi-Fi, troubleshooting, like, basics, tech support stuff. But I finished my 12 months there, and then continued doing interviews to other companies, which I did 2022 June, my May 2022 May, the internship ended on that company. It was a year, and then I started doing my experiential training, same company. And then new skills that I've learned at work was Jira, Jenkins. After moving from the company that gave me a bursary, I had 3 opportunities. I did interview at Amazon, Capitec, and Pathcare. Amazon rejected me. I took Pathcare because Pathcare apparently had a lot of employees. So yeah. So projects I've worked on quite a lot. I've mentioned the one that I worked on at Invent in Cape Town. At Pathcare, I've worked on around 11 projects, both front end and back end. and then I moved from path
K through Sita and to see Karen Gonyana.
which the projects I'm doing are 4 projects, which is, if you, I don't want to disclose a lot of information, but yeah, it's basically some 4 projects that we're maintaining. So yeah, and then my growth and development, growing, like the growing skills that I'm thinking of growing, because my tech stack for front end, as I've said, I'm a full stack engineer, software engineer. So for front end, I'm using Angular, Tailwind, CSS, and TypeScript, and an Angular material. For back end, I'm using Spring Boot, Java. For databases, it's either MSQL, MySQL, MongoDB, the one I was learning at Pathcare, and then I'm still continuing to learn MongoDB, because we were moving from those relational databases to MongoDB. And also we are moving, another thing I'm learning was AWS for DevOps and all that, and cloud. So I'm also here at where I am, we're doing training for OpenShift, which is a cloud, also Tecton pipelines, dev spaces, and all that with GitLab, not GitHub this time, because I'm used to GitHub. GitLab and GitHub is basically the same thing, just that the other one is more secure, the other one is like an open source kind of. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. The areas I'm focusing on, those are also the areas I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on AWS, MongoDB, Angular for front end, Spring Boot, and Java. I think I did talk about how we used to learn for me, and also him teaching me more, because I would think as a software you need to think. So I would think up to this far, and then he would say, okay, what did you do? You did this and this and this and this, and then he would take it from there. Okay, so what didn't you do is this and this and this, and then we can try to debug if we're debugging a code. So it was a good learning curve. I learned debugging. It was a lot of things that I've learned from that guy, and he's very good. And also my other colleagues that taught me this, that were there to help me. It was very good, nice experience. I'm not really comfortable with the environment because it's an old tech stack, which I'm using the new one, but I'm hoping that maybe within 4 years we can transition from the old to new. I don't know, but now we're gonna start with moving projects from SVN to GitHub, because we're mostly used to GitHub, and then from GitHub to GitLabs, because we're gonna use GitLabs and Jira. They are not using Jira; they are using Microsoft SharePoint, which I don't know, but we're gonna move that from that to Jira. I've started proposing that. I've started proposing moving projects from SVN to GitHub, and then from GitHub to GitLab, and then from GitLab we push them to OpenShift basically. So yeah, that's the plan, and I'm hoping it's gonna work. Like, try to grow, try to be more involved. That's the thing I wanna do. Let me start from Pathcare. Pathcare was the one that was clear, was nice, good. I would arrive in the morning around 8:30. I would make coffee. I would open my laptop, make coffee, come back or buy it. Check my emails, previous work emails. Check my Jira, my tasks for the day, or if I finish my task, check what I'm gonna do and all that. Around 9:30, we're doing a stand up. From that stand up, we talk about what we did and what we're going to do, and the blockers and all that. And then after 9:30, we start from 9:30 to 1 o'clock. I'm coding, doing my work. From 1 o'clock to 2, I'm going to take lunch, and then from 2 o'clock to around 3, we're gonna have a peer review with other colleagues, and then from 3 to 5, 5:30, then I'm gonna study or try to work on my projects that I didn't finish. See, that was a very nice thing. Like, that was the flow I liked. And now the flow is like, I get to work 8 o'clock, I make coffee. After coffee, I read my emails, check everything that I have to do, open my projects. And then, because we are still trying to take projects from a GitHub to our local environment, setting up my PC and all that. So I'm still trying to do that up until I attend some meetings. We don't have a stand up. Attend some meetings and all that, but I'm slowly gonna talk about those things. We have to introduce the agile, and then also continue that. And also around 1 o'clock, I take lunch. From 2 to 4, when I clock off, we can meet with this other guy I'm working with and try to talk about certain things about the projects, what we are going to do, the meetings, way forward, and all that. So it's basically what I'm doing, which is very nice and simple, and we get paid for it. So the advice to people who want to be a software engineers, I would say, just continue learning. That's it. Continue learning. Ask people. There's never a stupid question. Ask questions. Even if people laugh at you, if you ask a question and then someone answers, when they're laughing at you, it's whereby it's gonna stay in your mind that, oh, they laughed at me when I asked this, and now that thing is gonna stay on your mind, which makes you not to forget. But the people who laughed at you because you didn't know you asked a question, they think it's stupid, but you, it's gonna stay because you were laughed. Yeah, Bob. So that's it. That's how I've learned also, just to ask questions. Ask questions. Even if you think question is stupid, just ask it. Continue to ask. Fix your portfolio. Learn the tech stack. There's a lot of tech stacks out there, either for programming languages like coding, like the core code, like the programming languages Java and all that. You have to pick and choose and know why you are choosing which tech stack and why is it benefiting you. But to me, I always say to people that programming is not really about the programming languages, the tech stack that you have to use. It's all about, what you think. Can you solve problems without coding? Because in most cases, a problem is going to come to you. You're going to get a problem from a BI or a BA, business analyst. It's going to give you a project, a task. That task, you have to convert it to a code. You have to know how to convert that task to a code. How is it going to work? How can it do this? That is programming. Converting. That's a software engineer at work. He's going to give you that just overview. Okay, we need this button to do this thing. When we click, if you have an e-commerce, for example, you have an e-commerce, you're selling something, this button, add to cart, is not working, which is currently what I'm working on. I have a website, then I have an e-commerce. There's this button called add to cart under the product, each product. When you click that button, it should take that product, add it to your cart. If you add multiple products, it has to update your loop, your product quantity. How many are there? What then is gonna give you something like that? Like, when we need this add to code, add to cart, button to work, to add this to this. Now you have to estimate how long will it take you to do that, and there may be errors. There may be errors with that, which is tolerance level in numerical analysis. You may have that, which is fine, it's forgivable. You may finish early, you may take more time to do it, which is you have to explain, understand why it took too much. So about that, you have to know how to convert that, how to make that button into when you click it, it adds. That's the job of a software engineer. That's the job of a developer. Take things, convert them to a working code, a solution that people can use. That's the job. There's really nothing, and that takes a lot of time here. It's not really writing. Writing is 10%, but thinking logically, that's 90% of what software developers do at work. But that's not what they do every day. No, we attend also meetings. Here. That's why we have to drink coffee, because we have to think a lot of times, trying to convert that problem into a solution. So yeah, that's my advice. Keep on learning, be curious about your field. There's a lot of branches that you can do under. If you did computer science, if you did data science, if you did mathematics, if you did basically BSc, Bachelor of Science degrees, a lot of them under maths and computing department in our school, you can have a lot of them, but you can still, if you have a capacity to think as a software engineer, then there's nothing stopping you on taking that. Really, a week can end at work, you didn't code, you just thought about solutions, contribute to your colleagues, how to solve something, take a problem, solve it in a code. You can even write how the problem is converted. That's the job of a software engineer. So if you have that thinking of that logical thinking, critical thinking, then there's nothing stopping you. So that's the importance, and that's the advice I give. And also, you need to be able to work with a team. You have to develop certain skills, new skills. You have to be on top of the game. You have to master your own craft. Just be you. Learn more on your job, because apparently people are scared of this is divine or divine AI. They are scared of it. It's like it's gonna take their jobs. There's nothing like that. It can. If you are weak, it can, but you need to keep on learning. Learn things that Devin or Divine cannot do, because there's limits to software and robots. There's limits. There's things that it cannot do. Yeah. It goes back to taking a problem, making it in a solution. Divine or Devin cannot do that. He can do basic things. Maybe by the time goes on, he's gonna get more information, be fed more information, because it's a robot and an AI, fed more information, and then it can do complex work. But there's a certain point where divine cannot do something that a human being can do. That's the difference between a machine and a human being, a computer and a human being. Imagine in 1940s, if you were the fastest person to calculate maybe 5,000 times 12. If you were the fastest person to calculate that means, and then you were comfortable with that means after 1992, 1990, when computers were emerging and all that, maybe before, because even calculators were already there, then that means your job is over. So you really have to grow your skills, be more of a critical thinker, logical thinker than being able to write a code. Just think how to think. There was a guy I was working with. Hey, that guy used to fry me, and I'm always grateful for that. He would I would come and then think I thought about in every solution and I'm exhausted, and he would say, ah, think, think, bruh, think. This is just in front of your eyes. Think. Oh, like you. No ways. I've already exhausted my thinking capacity. Like, no, bruh. Like, this is simple. You have to think about it. I would sit there and then think, oh, no, I can do this. It can be done this way and this way. So, yeah, you have to think about it in a high level manner and in a low level manner. That's what is important. Also, it goes back to that thing I said that programming is not really about programming languages. You can know one programming language, you can know a lot of them. But what is important, taking a problem and make a solution out of it. Uba wenze njani, it's all on you. Knowing a lot of programming languages is a bonus. But if you know basic programming languages, if you know Java, you know basics, which is, you know, variables, statements, control statements, data types, what's else? Arrays, collections. No, I think that's enterprise. But if you know these enums, that's just the beginners thing, like the not so tough thing. So you have to know that, which is quite not easy, but it's just to get you started so you can think solutions out of that. You can have a clue how to solve some things, you know. That's a good thing about being a programmer. That's a good thing. You don't have to be Mr. Know It All and all that. Otherwise, everything comes through time and what you do out of it. Thinking, taking a solution, taking a problem, and doing a solution. That's the basic thing as a software engineer, and it's priority. It's primary. You have to be like that. And I used to struggle with this. I will have to be honest. I used to struggle taking a problem and then making a solution out of it. I used to struggle, but then I tried to research. I always sitting here researching, doing, learning. There's a lot of things now you can learn on. It's not only Google. You can learn with AI. You can ask questions like face to face. It's like you're asking a person. It's not like Google anymore, whereby you're gonna have to put in some keywords so that you can find a solution out of it. So no, you can just ask straight things. So everything is evolving. You have to evolve. You have to master. You have to master your own craft in a unique way so that you cannot be outsmarted by just a machine. You know, that's what is nice. That's what is nice. Just be good. So, if there's something I advise people. Hopeful, not advice, because progressing in learning is always a good idea. So some people always prefer that after you get your degree, just don't study further, you can get a job. But for me, I don't want that. As I said, in this field, you have to master your own craft. You have to be competitive so that you can do this more. You cannot be like shaken by new people coming into the field. You have to build a strong firewall into you and what you know. You have to be unique, think unique things so that you cannot be easily replaced. You cannot be easily replaced by people or some AI. Master your own craft. Learn, keep on learning, keep on trying new stuff, build projects as many as you can do. We know more by practicing. So that's what I can advise. In terms of this field, I only have 3 years experience. As I said, I'm not going to change my tech stack. Looking at offers and dev, state of dev, nation address, it's TypeScript, Angular. I'm not sure about Spring Boot, but I feel like it's also growing. Java has been consistent with growth because a lot of companies are still using Java. Imagine a lot of companies are still using Java 8. We are still far because Java now is 21, the latest version, LTS. So I don't know, but on the market currently, I see C#, .NET. That's also what you can learn, and then the tech stack that you can mix with that is front end. You can do maybe React or Angular. With cloud, you can do Azure, which is Microsoft based, because C# and .NET is a Microsoft based. You see, you can just mix with that. So it's mean or main stack. So mean stack is MongoDB, Express, Angular, Node. Main stack is MongoDB, Express, React, Node.js. That's the two I think are crucial in choosing. And also depends what you want to learn. You can even choose. You can whether choose for back-end languages. You can choose Java or C#. If you choose Java, you have to do it with Spring Boot. I don't know some other framework that you can work with Java in. And then if you choose to build APIs, if you choose C#, then you have to go with .NET. You will never go wrong. And then on the front end, either Angular or React. You go with that. Simple. But before you learn Angular or React, you have to go back and learn DOM manipulation, which is document object. I don't know, I forgot the M. But it's DOM manipulation or document object manipulation. I don't know. But you have to learn DOM. If you search DOM and JavaScript, ES something, you have to learn those things. JavaScript, you have to learn JavaScript so that you can see from JavaScript to React, and then you can also understand TypeScript, because TypeScript is basically JavaScript with types. So yeah, I feel like that's all I needed to share, and if I need to share more, I'm gonna share it next time. See you.